Hello and welcome back to the second round today. Hey, let's see, this works. Stream is online. Fantastic. How's the sound going? Amazing. I made some changes in the sound settings this time, so it could be that I'll sound a little bit better than this morning, hopefully, or worse, but then please tell me. And so, where have we been stopped this afternoon? We changed from Flutter Web to Flutter macOS so far, just to make sure that we can work there. It's a bit faster and a bit more performant, and hot reload is working easier. And now we finally wanted to work there. Hey naive Android! Sorry that it is this late now. I wanted to be a bit earlier, but I had some chores to do. Fantastic. So this works. We see immediately our image and our header example, which is still a bit big, I think, but I think that's good for now. I can imagine that you find that funny. So, what can we change here? We have the height here inside. I think the music is a bit loud. So, in the meantime, hey Stefan, I have to thank you once more if I have you here, and thank you for the pointing out with the shop. I didn't know that it's only in dollars. It's true, I can't change that. I was checking that this afternoon, right after you checked that, and I found really that down here, if you want to buy something, it's always in dollar. I can't change that, at least not yet. I have to check that. But what I can do, I can order it for you, and then I can send it to you if you like. So yeah, I think it's because the company behind Streamlabs is American, and I think they work together to provide that merch. So it is directly based in America, I can imagine. Yep, do that. Okay, so here we have that stuff. But anyhow, I want to go further with our stuff. I was pretty happy with how far we come the last time, so I just want to clean up a little bit. For example, this stuff can be done. And what I also figured out is that we currently don't have an analysis option, so we don't have the help of the linter so far. So I think we can also add that. So this constant here looks like we have a lot of stuff inside, so we should move that somewhere else. And because we don't have something else than the navigation bar so far, we will just put that on top of here. So having this part. Is something missing? Yep. Box decoration, that needs a name. So this is our shadow, right? So Navbar. I will left. If this is true, I want also one. Oh, I think I'm a bit too loud. I make myself a bit loud, so I think it's better. Not that I overreact here. But if this is true, that would be fantastic. Navbar shadow. Or Navbar box decoration. Voila. And use that down here. It is for sure. To be honest, I'm a bit sad that I don't have my own merch at the moment. The only thing is that I have is the t-shirt. And this one is also created, so not from the merch shop, to be honest. And I really have to order some stuff. For example, I need coffee cups. But now with your donation, it's possible. And after that, I need some good lighting, because at the moment we are working with this LED light, so everything is yellow. I don't know if you have seen that, but in some videos I'm very yellowish, and this comes from that light at the moment. So, but that's cool. I mean, that's why I'm starting, right? So all the small stuff, if we get better and better, everyone is happy at the end. Okay. So we have that in the area, and I'm really looking forward to all that other stuff that we want to do, because that design looks not too bad, I think. So we can do here something. What's next? I think the logo is there, which is still a bit big. On the other side, if we get rid of this part here on that side, it's just like if we do that on 100%, the size could be actually the same, right? looks pretty good. Fantastic. The border, the shadow is a little bit off. I think it's still too harsh with the 16%. So let's see if we can change that. That would be here. And how can we search for that? 16% of hex. Whoops. So we search for 200 is 40 and we search that as hex. 28. Alright, fantastic. So where is our code? Here. 28. So this should be 30%, I hope. Oh, sorry, coding guy. I know it's a tad late. It was just I had some chores. MATLAB is not letting me off, so I had to do something. But I'm good to getting into sleep, I think. So I can do you some sleeping music if you want to. All right. So if this is our website, now we can go to the next steps, and I will order that a bit better. So. Ooh, so many questions. Hey, Mohammed. That's cool. What are you doing? So we are working currently on a Flutter website, and I created in macOS, but it should be the same. More an early sleeper, which is good. How's the work as a freelancer on Flutter? Here in Germany, it's getting better and better. We get more and more job offers. I think MATLAB also got some invitations now. How is it in general on the world? I think in America it's pretty huge at the moment, so also there it's getting better. And if you want to start there, I think at the moment most people, I think Flutter community currently says create your own jobs. It's like if you advertise Flutter, then it's automatically getting you a better position there. So yeah, it's quite good, I would say. The good thing is that I'm an early adopter, or you also if you work with Flutter. And what I think is if Flutter increases more and more, which it does actually at the moment, you will be one of the people who has already experience and you have already that kickstart in the beginning. And I can highly recommend that because I think with that we have the benefit that employees or future employees or contractors will have that feeling that some people have more experience already than others. And even if you change from React Native to Flutter, you will need your time to get used to all this stuff. Oh, and we have to push the whole macOS stuff. macOS release. Up. Zack. You tried to release on Harmony OS, UI platform. No, I have never. I didn't even know that this is something special. Harmony OS. Okay, so they have their own OS system. Doesn't sound too complicated. Does there an emulator exist? Flutter maybe? Don't know. Gets popular, Flutter support will be added. In the end, Flutter is just Skia, so if the device has a graphic card, it can run Flutter eventually. So I can maybe share you with that. I think that makes maybe sense. Voila. The main issue I face, online store, WordPress, and using WooCommerce. Okay, can imagine. Yeah, Harmony is just an Android OS, and so I think it should be fine as long as it has a graphic card, right? Regarding to that post. But I don't have any experience. I don't have a Huawei, unfortunately. My phone, I have an Oppo at the moment, and it got the newest version of Android, like Android 13, and I was like super excited. I don't know, not Android 13. What is the newest version? Where's the RDWD? ABD, is it not? Yeah, here we go. That's an own window, right? No? Doesn't work at the moment. Android Q or something, is it, right? Huawei service is possible with Flutter. Yeah, I think the same. Shouldn't be a problem. I highly recommend you that, coding guy. I think Flutter Linux has a very good chance because I can imagine that it's fantastic to recreate some of the applications that are currently in KDE or something. To joining the competition. Ah, yeah, makes sense. Would be great. Show us your results if you are finished with it, Morbleu. So, siempre de encuentro en todos. Okay, now it's getting Spanish again. I have to train my Spanish again. And in the meantime, I can work a bit further. So we have now our navbar, and I think the navbar is so far so good. The next step that I would do is the analysis options, because I'm not a big fan that we don't have any linting at the moment. So if we are going here and asking for Flutter lint, I think we don't get any results. And here I found the last time a very cool blog article. I don't know if you have seen that on Twitter. Yeah, wait, I have to search that here on top. Oops. So on Twitter, I posted an article with the last 10 tips on Flutter or something like that. Like a very cool blog article, or 6 small things on to help you with Flutter. And I was very surprised by that article because it really helped me with some stuff. So I bring that down here. And one of the things is if statements throws in some errors. That's always good. Const constructors, but this part with the linting rules. And he recommended to use a linter and lint. And I didn't know that even there are packages that exist. I always thought you should do that what Flutter is doing, and you can be happy. So the linter is already bundled in Dart SDK, so with that we have that already, so we don't have to install it. But you find the linting rules and so on here inside. Linting, I can show you that in a second, because I think that makes more sense than writing it down. So you maybe have heard about these analysis options that are like coding style guide rules that you approve in your project. So that means if you make a mistake, like what is a good example? So for example, you forget in a method to write the return type, then it will give you an error. And this is not really an compile error, it is more an error for your coding style that you would like to enforce in your project. So I will add this file here in our main part. And with this analysis options, we have now the possibility to add these rules. So for example, if we jump in here and we search, for example, was it a pandemic or pedantic? Yeah, pedantic it is. So you will see these are the rules that Flutter team is using. And if we jump here into this YAML file, we see something like always declare return types. So your code will show errors if you don't have declared the return type in your methods, for example. Or if you have an empty else block, then you will get an error here. Even though that is not really a compile error from Dart, but the linting will show you these errors anyways. Camel case extensions, prefer contains, and so on and so forth. And this is really helpful because sometimes you just don't think about this. And the alternative is also effective Dart. And effective Dart is even one level higher because it enforces even more of these linting rules. The question is now, what do we want? Do we want to be very constrict with our coding style guides, or are we happy with the default from Flutter? And because I don't want to have these huge decisions, both of them are working fine, of course, so both of them should be okay. But I would like to ask you in a short poll, because why do we make live streams? That you have also an opinion, right? So for that, which linter should we use? And the option is effective Dart. I call that effective. And the other option is, what did I say? Pedantic, right? Is the name? I always forget the name. Yeah, pedantic. What a name. So, and I add them. Here we go. And for the linting stuff, I also can show you a link for that. Pedantic, yeah. Where is the, here, customize static linting. So for example, here we will find some stuff that we can add with the strict mode and so on and so forth. And it gives you some information, like for example, here we have an implicit downcast. So it will throw an error inside of our stuff and we can't build the application anymore. And this is the benefit of that. I will also add the link up here. In my thumbnail, oh, really? Live coding, oh yeah. What is the right spelling for that? Coding? Yeah, I think so. You know what? Let's do that together. In the meantime, you have to make an exclamation mark vote and then give the name that you want to do, like Morbleu did. His vote is getting counted. Unfortunately, yours not. It's a bit tricky. So here we have our thing. So let's change that because without an E. So like that, right? So change that on the fly. This is team effort here. Thank you. Export as a PNG. Fantastic. Live learning. Let's do that second. Yep. And now I'm searching that. So you come into the internals of Flutter Explained. Now you know exactly how I'm working. My semi-professional ways. And here we change the thumbnail now. And where are we? That was this one, right? No. Also no. I did it often wrong, right? Jeez. Good that you said that. The thumbnail, PSD files, I think here is now live somewhere. Here we go. And put that up here. Fantastic. Now it is better. Thank you, coding guy. Okay, so we have 2 votes for pedantic and 1 for effective. If someone wants to vote still, then he should do it now. He has still 1 minute left, I think. And in the meantime, I can talk a little bit about different rules that we can set. So for example, we can't allow empty statements, closed syncs for streams, cancel subscriptions if we forget about that, and so on and so forth. That's fantastic. It's amazing that you saw that because, well, it's not my mother tongue, so it's always a bit difficult, right? Then you can also set up 3 different levels of linting, so like info, warning, and error. So you can say, okay, this linting rule is just an information, this other one is a warning, and the last one is an error. How much you expect to use these lints in the website? Well, I would at least allow them, or I at least want to have some basic lintings. So if maybe Matab is, for example, start to join in and works with me here, that she also knows how I want to use the code or how I want to write the code. For example, we could say that every public API should be completely documented. A great package from Dominic called lint. Yeah, I think I had that open seconds ago, right? So pub.dev, I think it's also part of this here. Is it this one? No, it's from Pascal. But close enough. And what does this package does exactly? Is a hand-picked open source community-driven collection. Ah, okay, so it is like a subset of these effective Dart style guides. So should I add that to the poll? But I think that would be unfair for everyone. We could also use this one. Pedantic, it represents what Google is enforcing. To have separate lint rules per project. One project might enable more rules than others. Okay, so this would be the alternative. Can I get a short review what we should do? You are the boss. Damn, I always want to give you the whole pressure of getting the judge to change, getting the direction here. But I think that's fine. We can use that linting here in that case because I never used it. And if it is community driven by Pascal and other people, I think it makes sense. What do we see in the repository? Pasi is working on it, and yeah, so I think it's a cool thing. I hope you are not angry now if I'm using this one, even though the poll was something else. So let's see, we go to our, do we even have to create an analysis option? Yeah, so we have to do that. So we get this in our dev dependencies this time, so you see that. And for that we go to our pubspec.yaml, go to the dev dependencies and adding this. This is because the linting should not be part of the, that's democracy. You vote and I do whatever I want. So we put that as a dev dependency, which means it will not be in the bundle of the release at the end. And with that, and with that, we can now add into our analysis option this including here, where we get the analysis options from linting. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So let's put that here inside. And semicolon, I think. Yeah, fantastic. The include package cannot be found. Okay, so most likely I forgot to make pub.get. And here we go. Better? No. Let's see. So we have that linting, right? So we should have here an external package, which is here. And actually I expected to have that here now. So you see here are the different rules set and also some explanations why they are here inside. Why is it not happy here? Can I do that a little bit more myself? So like, so we don't get any suggestions here, unfortunate. And import the lint rules. Ah, now it's still not. No semicolon. Okay. So now it seems to work at least. So this we can enable the rules if we want to. So we can be now specific and override, for example, by adding this linter and giving the rules here inside. And then we could write our own rules if we want to have something. So for example, prefer double quotes is for me an absolutely true because I am always bad in writing single quotes. Package get ran well, fantastic, no semicolon. So don't add the semicolon here. Okay, so, and what I also can do, package get run well, what do you mean with that? Here we can say false. So, and this would mean if I'm going now into the libs, for example, we get here an error somewhere. And you see, these are getting all enforced by some stuff. So now we have to fix some of the problems. So first of all, what prefer double quotes. Okay, so this is a good one. No, we don't suppress that. The thing is, at the moment, my editor is set up by code editing, code style, I think. We search for Dart. Can we even do that? Let me think. I thought it was here or not. Yeah, in Java it works, so here it doesn't. Ah, okay. Oops. So what I will do now, because we can also change that here, I think. So convert to double quoted string. Fantastic. And now you get also these errors here. And the thing is, because the argument type of dynamic can't be assigned to the parameter type build context. That is false or not? Ah, true. So this is a build context. And now we have to set these values, right? Because all of them are at least a build context and we can't leave it as a var. And the same thing depends on this here. So it complains that we use now not final in the first place. And the second thing is we can't use var anymore. It needs now to be an integer or a double. So we are more strict here with our package and coding, right? We have to be way more precise with what we write. But the benefit is we can't make so many mistakes anymore. So this is a very good thing at the end, because now it is way more explicit, and because every developer who's working on our package, thanks to our analysis options, has to provide the same level of integrity in development. Does this make sense? Some people really don't like linting. I think Dimitrio is one of them. So there are enough people who are saying that is stupid, you shouldn't use linter because code is anyway working. Which is kind of true, but it is just a preference from mine. Avoid unnecessary containers. So even this he can identify. So you see, it's better to learn, absolutely. And also if you are, think about it, let's assume you would be a new developer who starts in a very big project. So for example, you start in flutter.dev. Then you have already enough that you need to learn, right? If you then think about, you would also need to learn what the coding styles inside of the project are. It is getting very tough, right? So, and even this he can find, right? So like avoid unnecessary containers, which means this container doesn't do anything. So we can remove it. So also this is a benefit of this linting. Another thing is we don't have to go one by one. We can go to this Dart Analysis tab, and you will find that also in Visual Studio Code. And there you find all the infos, right? Because blue is an info, but we can now easily fix these. And I think also these double quotes, there would be a terminal command like flutter. I don't know if it is lint. There was a flutter lint or something. Let's make it h. So I think flutter analyze it is, and we can also fix that. So like flutter analyze.fix or something. Oops. H. It also suggests which widget can be declared as const. Ah, yeah, perfect. I think a widget can't be declared as a const, but like box decorations and so on can be a const, right? So here we can ask for the analyzing, but what I would like to see is something like, can we fix automatically also? No, it seems not like. I think that is just in NPM stuff. Yeah, that is also true, Mobleu. So you see, because of my double quote maniac, the imports here getting all a bit damaged. Also down here. The question is it so important with that double quotes? I don't think so. It's just... I don't know. So what do we have here? Avoid defining a class that contains only static members. Okay. That makes sense, I think. But we will have here later also methods. Are you sure, Mobleu? Because I think I know a lot of companies that are working with Flutter at the moment, and they are not only a single guy. So what do we have else? So can we remove that? Fantastic. And then in the main.dart we would get rid of this, and we get the light theme. Cool. Convert. And also if we think in the long run, I think most companies would like to have only one guy sitting in their front end. Oh, it's also finding this problem. and to double quote. Well, it is very good if you keep it consequently. So if you always work with linting, you will have because you don't have to think anymore about it and you just do it, everything works fine. But at the first time, as you can see in my place now, I started with some coding and now it's getting, yeah, a bit messy to fix all of these problems. So, added linting or the lint package to our project. Cool. Zack. So, and if you have forgotten where the GitHub project is, right, we have also the package here. So currently we work on a different branch. You will find that on Redesign here. So don't get confused. Yep, I will add that to the chat, then you have also the possibility. I think I need a command for that, or like, where's the GitHub repository? I think that would be something. Ah, you are so right, Ayush. You see, that is a problem with live streams. You really don't think like that anymore, like search and replace. It would be such easy thing to just do that. Aye. So it's like, yeah, Command Shift R and then, the next time. Now I know it again. In the meantime, I write my command. So like hashtag GitHub and website. The GitHub repository to the website is so. And now we can do exclamation mark GitHub hyphen website and it will span for you. All right. So we managed that, we have that also. Next step is cleared, which is pretty cool. So this is our responsive widget, that's fine. This we can close for now. And here, what would be the next step? I would really like to have that background now down here, right? That we have here. I think we created that as an image for now, that we have these 3 bars and then this SVG. So I see here a row, or better, do I see a column? No, right? It's just a container with 1 and 2 objects. And one of them would be this part here, which is our Jumbotron or something. And on that side, we have our hero image, or what the name is, right? Yeah, hero image. See ya, Stefan. Thank you for joining. Enjoy the time with your family. I know it's valuable. So getting rid of that. We don't need this anymore. This can be done too. Also done. Google Fonts, SVGs. Fantastic. Yeah, AKS, welcome back. You completely watched it. Fantastic. And how did you like it? How do you like our design? Any additional ideas? So in the meantime, I can now go to our home screen. So here we have our navigation bar, right, which is the top part. That works fine. And now down here we will have an expanded, which is the full screen size at the moment. And there we want to have now the 2 elements, like left and right. And I think this can be done with a container that has a background image. This one has a decoration, box decoration, with an image, which is a decoration image. And inside here we have the image again, and here the asset image, most likely. So that was quite quick. And it complains that it can be a const, right? And we make some commas. And the cool thing is now, if you, for example, do here a const, then it will complain that you have too many consts, right? You can use the top one. That's good enough. So now we have to search for the image. I don't know anymore where we put that. Fantastic. So let's see if I created that one correctly. Not on the desktop, maybe in downloads. Nope. Nope. So I have too much stuff at the moment. Up. Here we go. And we export that once more. And we did that on design. Aha, all right. I will maybe create a folder somewhere in our on the desktop that I call just website stream. And inside of here we will have the BG image. Something like that. Let's see. It's just that I find that stuff easier. And now we can go to the Finder, go to desktop, so, and bring that here. Fantastic. So it is quite small, that's good. You would change the font? You was not there for the selection. What would you do for the font? Do you have some? A good one? Images and bg image.png in that case. All right. Yeah, it was voted, and I can't be the dictator once more. It was once harsh already. So interesting. The box shadow is behind. Why is the box shadow behind? Interesting. Let me check if I can do here a little bit more. Like in the decoration image, we have the fit, box fit, and say cover. That is really interesting. You see, the shadow is getting overwritten. That is crazy. So what can we do there now? We are using at the moment Montserrat, I think, and this one won the election or the voting. But we can see that in the future. But this is at the moment also semi-bold, so I don't know if there is another language one. We can check that. So congratulations, Nascimento, to join our fantastic elite community of Flutter Explained. You see, I'm getting slowly. How do you call it, maniac or something like that? So the problem is that this navigation bar is below some on top of that. How could we do that better? Interesting problem. I didn't expect that, to be honest. So we could make that to a stack. Let's see, and then if we have that on top of each other, yeah. Now we would need to put that down there. Then it would look like something like this. But it's somehow weird that we have to make a stack for that, or? Feels a bit weird. On the other hand, makes sense somehow. Sized box. Yeah, but then we have like that gap. I would like to have that underneath. It would look like, so for example, if we scroll here, I would like that the background is moving up, something like that. Is that the thanks of prototyping or not? Well, we made this morning a little bit of design work and we discussed some different fonts. This font was just, we took like 5 fonts, 5 different ones, and this one wants the competition so far. The only thing is the parent or the font above, like the main font, was unfortunately already predefined because it is like the main font of us currently. And I think this Montserrat as a main or as a reading language is pretty cool because at least it is it has serifs, right? So it's quite easy to read. I don't know if there is a more modern one. Could be in the future. Let's see. Okay, so now we have our 2 parts that we want to add. Hopefully it doesn't mess up our stuff now. It's the font next to the logo that doesn't look good. So it is you think the Passion 1 is not looking good. This one. We can also make if you have some fonts in your mind, everyone, then we can also pull the first or the primary font if you like. Yep. So voila. Let me think. So we have the decoration image, the navigation bar, and that whole thing would be our content, right? So what I will do is I create a widget for content inside of here. So it is the home content dart. Oops, stateless widget, home content. To be honest, if you know how I found this font, it was like searching a font for your company and you are starting to scroll and scroll and scroll and you found thousands of different fonts. And especially if you are not a designer, it is then at the end more like, yeah, okay, it looks not too bad, let's take this one. Column children container expanded child list. Yeah, I can do that, Julio, but for what exactly now? Column children container. So instead of the stack here. Can close that off in the meantime. Oh, that looks stupid. What have I done? Ah, because of the column. Okay, let's bring that back on. So, yeah, maybe better. No, 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 no. What have I done? Command Shift D. No. Okay. Folio? No? Okay, let's keep it with stack for now. Now it's gone again. That needs to be behind. So, and then we have it back. Thank you, Flutterist. It's amazing. I had so much fun this afternoon, and especially the music is pretty good. So I thought I'd make a second stream today. So, and inside of our content, we have a container with an expanded at the moment. I would grab this expanded and pick it out, because then I know that it is belonging to the parent here. So I have a better overview about that stuff. So we know now this home content is big. And here we have currently a container with the background image. That's fantastic. A spacer, yeah, that could work. The only problem that I have with that stuff, if we have here a column, for example, and I would bring the navigation bar again top, and we have something like a spacer here. Oh, that's all right. No worries, AKS. That's all right. Nobody thinks that this is a bad idea. It's just we have to think about how we can improve that. And I like that. So as you see with a spacer, we get some space, that's true. But the problem is here that we somehow cut everything off with a limit at bottom. I think the idea would be more that we have a sized box, for example, and then like height of maybe 5 or something, just to get that rid of. Is that also const? Oh, interesting. But even then it looks somehow weird. I don't know exactly why this is happening. I think we can make the background color also white here inside. So in that box decoration we have color 0x F, which is of course this const. Fantastic. Did it work? So what would be your idea for a font AKS? So instead of Passion 1, what would be more crisp? I think we can change that. No, it's getting even worse. What we can do for the fonting is if we go to Google, fonts.google.com, and we search once more our, what was the name of the other? Montserrat, exactly. Then we can check down here how it would look. And currently, Roboto would work. Nah, that's too confusing, I think. So we needed to search something where Montserrat is the second level. I think Oswald is not looking too bad. Lato. Lato is like medicine, right? So if you have a good font that we can combine, please let me know. And here, spacer with a limit at bottom. We can try that, I think. So let's see if we remove that size box once more and we get a const spacer, which has a flex, right? So we would say 1, and then we add to this one here like 8. Is 1 remove argument? Why? Because flex is always 1. True. So yeah. Nah. Don't like the idea. Sorry for that. To be honest, I didn't expect it that the box shadow is not really a part of the element, but it makes somehow sense because the box shadow is just a container underneath it. It is like, I think the box shadow itself that we have here, now we can't see it, I have to make that a stack again. Here, that box shadow that you see here is like an own container that is not really, how can I explain that? It's not really a part of the other container. So it's getting like a stack and moved to the side with the offset in a black color. And this is if we don't have a color behind here. So I think inside of our navigation bar, you can see that very well. Where is it? Here in the navigation bar. If we remove the white color, the white background color, where do we have it? I think up here. So if we remove that background color, you will see what I mean. It's now getting with the box shadow, and you see that the gray color, which is the shadow, is really a container that is completely underneath of it. And I think a lot of people have already complained about that this is the case at the moment. So this is our problem with the clipping, because if we now have 2 elements, then this short offset of that is getting removed. So the other element is getting on top of that. So with the stack, we can avoid that. But yeah, at the moment, I only see the possibility with the stack. If someone else finds a better solution, I'm open for that. I think they told me once, Roboto used to present is the one used by most of the startup client. Yeah, to be honest, I love Roboto. It's a cool language. Can you break these into 2 containers? I think I could. I could create my own containers, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I could solve that problem that good, because I think that's why already the Flutter team is working on it. Very big. Yeah, what we can do is maybe reduce the font sizing. If we do that, like getting it like a 32 or something. It's maybe a bit easier. Maybe 32, 42. Yeah, but I think more blue, it would lead exactly to the same problem, right? Because if we would create the 2 containers here, we would have the same thing, unfortunately. So this line distracts you, or what is the problem with the line? That's a shadow at the moment. Can you see that? Yeah, hopefully, or? That could be. What I always think is because of these 3 lines that you see here at the logo, it feels like the logo is a little bit offset, like it's a bit lower than the font. This makes sense, even though that they are aligned perfectly. Because of these 3 lines and this space up here, you have the feeling that they are off, like moved around. This makes sense. So if you check that here on Adobe, you have these 3 parts and you see that font is a little bit below. So actually the size from up is 36 and below it's 51. So maybe this is the problem that you see with the off feeling. Maybe it's a good point that we maybe add a little bit padding on the font. Where can we do that? So we have the home content, the navigation bar. And here we have our... Yes, this is the shadow, exactly. So my idea was that we have like a little bit of separation between the main content and the text. But maybe, sorry, maybe it is still too thick, maybe too strong. And if I put this a little bit with a padding, like only top, something like that. Nah. So I know it's not much, but I think it's not off anymore, so it looks like more centric. This makes sense? So many chat messages. Hey, you keep me really busy today, everyone. Okay, so we tried that. I think that is good enough. I don't know if we can improve that here more. Extend body true inside scaffold class. I don't know, never used that to be honest. What is the extend body? If true and bottom navigation bar persist footer is specified, then the body extends to the bottom of the scaffold instead of only extending to the top of the bottom navigation bar. No, I think that will not help necessarily. Remove that by putting noise in the text and logo. What is that? So the complete line, you think it's too much? Like this? It's a bit weaker now. So maybe the line is way easier. It's not completely off, but it's still there, so very, very thin. Okay, let's keep it for now like this. So I commit all that stuff, that we have smaller commit messages this time. Not so much all at once, because I don't like that. Okay, and I would say this is alright for now. What I want to try now is to create that image on top and the side of the Jumbotron. I think that would be cool as next. So let's see. At first I will change here the border that we have. Not the border, sorry. This is now only 8%, so very weak. And we can get this back on 62, I think. All right. So, and here at the first part, I would like to use the animated text kit that I showed you this morning or this afternoon. So if we go to pub.dev, you will see the animated text, which I find pretty cool. And we can use something like that and have something like this, for example. So it would be a Flutter developer, Flutter whatever, influencer, Flutter skilled Flutter type and so on and so forth. I don't know if it is too much movement later, because if the text is moving and then on the side maybe we have that pulse feature from the SVG, could be a bit too much, I don't know. But I think you will have an idea about it. So hopefully, what do you think? Is that something that we should implement? In the meantime, I can start with that actually. So we have the Flutter screen, expanded home content. And here we have now our space. We have the container, which contains this decoration. Looks cool, fantastic. And here I will put that on top again. This is our background decoration. Const. And I think we can remove this. And semicolon. Oops, background decoration. Fantastic. Good. So, and now in this part we have a child, and we want to have a row with 2 elements, right? Look at this Max design from this Swiss bank. The page is... Ah, yeah, you're right. We want to have K's in front, true. So K background decoration. Neon free CH. Neon free CH. Okay, so they have only this part that is animated, right? And then all the small parts are getting animated. Yeah, we can try that. Yeah, that's true. I think we have a Discord channel now. So I think if you make !Discord, this time you will have an invite link that is also working. So if you are going then to the DevTown part, you will find down here the link. Hey Alex. I should be more online on that. So I put the link in the... Ah, you mean that the navigation... Ah, so that it is not disturbing. So this is what you mean. So we don't need the shadow or something like that, right? Ah, you are more bleu. Nice. Ah, that's why you said this is the right image of you, right? Okay, so we can skip also the shadow, that's fine for me. But on the other side, I know also some pages where the shadow stays and just scrolls with, so it looks like the content is getting moved underneath of the navigation bar. But I think that could be that I'm not 2020 conform already. So what I want to do is removing that, then... Okay, you know what? Whoops, I made a mistake. Okay, go back here. And instead of just putting something inside, we can also poll again. So should we have a shadow? A Navbar shadow. Up, yes. And no. Up, and start. So then nobody can be angry at me because we have polled it out. Fantastic. So that would be this part. Here we would have our font. So now we have here our child, which will be a column. Yep, we can try at least. As I said, it's just the first time that I'm doing such stuff. Usually I'm doing only plain applications for companies, and they usually have a very easy design and from animations and so on. It is, yes, fantastic. So we have a child with a column, no, with a row. With a row, and there we have children inside. And in this children, we will have maybe 2 expanded widgets. Expanded, where the first one contains our Jumbotron stuff. So I will add here Jumbotron. Yeah, Jumbotron is good enough, I think. And the second one is expanded, and I think that has a child, right? So child Jumbotron. And the other one is expanded with a child. And this will be our hero image, was the name, right? So this will contain our animation from the undraw at the moment, so that pulse effect. And the Jumbotron will contain the font and everything. So this is the left side, which is our Jumbotron right here. And on the right side we have our hero animation, our hero image. Okay, so we create these two. Jumbotron is completely created by us. Jumbotron is just the name of the widget at the moment. So I don't know if there is a pub package. Jumbotron. Nah. The Jumbotron naming comes from Bootstrap, actually. That is where I know it from. So if you search for Bootstrap, it's like a very popular JavaScript framework. And if you search for here in the documentation, I think Jumbotron is a thing. I hope at least, because yeah, here, so it's Jumbotron. And it's always like a big text, some smaller text underneath, and a call to action to it. So it is more like a pretty well-known name, I think. Jumbotron.dart. Stateless widget, Jumbotron. Why do I make the big lettered T? And we get a material part here. So. And the hero image would be also one. Hello, Jeremiah, nice to see you. So hero image.dart. Stateless hero image. And we get the material part. Okay, I get slowly the feeling that double quote was not a good idea as a linting rule. So now we have our home content, which currently contains only this. I don't know if this will change in the future or if I will create something for that. And what I will do now, because this makes no sense, so we make that also to true, because most of the imports are just single quotes. I know now both complaining, so way better. So the Jumbotron on the left side contains out of a column, right? We have this animated text maybe, then we have the normal text and the call to action. So this would be a widget that would be a bit too small to make it an own widget, I think. But on the other hand, we have the decoration here. I think it's okay. It's like a layout widget. Okay, so hero image. No, let's start with the Jumbotron. I think it's easier. Renaming? No, that's fine. And this one contains at the end a column with different children, text children, which contains, for example, Flutter Developer. So this one could be animated. Then, oh, we can also make that const, that's fantastic. Refer const literals to create immutables. Okay. How can I help? Okay, someone has a good idea what this error is about? Oop, something happened. Hello, Rifat! Welcome to the Flutter community. Or Flutter Explained community, to be careful there. List, map and set literals used as parameters. New a const. Absolutely. But I don't know what is the problem. Is it text here? No. Refer const literals to create. Okay. And avoid, because the whole list is already constant. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. I didn't know that. Fantastic. So you made the whole list const because the text here is a constant and we don't get like dynamic data. So we have even there some performance benefits. Cool. Then the second one is a longer text. I will just copy paste that at the moment. That could be also lorem ipsum, right? So any text is it at the moment. And last but not least, we have another text. No, we have our call to action button. So this is a flat button at the moment. With a child, there will be a text which say contact us. And we have an on pressed, which don't do anything at the moment with a to do. Yeah, something like this. No? Okay, this can't be a constant, which makes sense. So now we have to do it for every single text here. And also here. Okay, let's see how it looks. We don't see anything. What did we miss? We have the home content. Do we get any errors? Most likely. Yeah. Complains about a expanded widget somewhere inside of a stack. Okay, so the parent, this one can't be an expanded anymore. Is that correct? Yeah, seems like it. But still we don't see our content. Is that also wrong? Aha, here's our stuff. Okay. So now we come into the problem that the stack is there, because now the text is underneath of it. How can we solve this problem now? We could remove the padding on top or something and push it down, which I don't like, actually. We could put it in the center of the screen, which I also don't like, because most likely we want to have it scrollable in the future. So what would happen if we make it a column again? And we add here an expanded. Put the navigation bar on top. So now we don't have the shadow, but now we at least have the text there where it belongs. And now what could we do for the shadow? I have an idea. What would be if we add a margin down here? Margin with the edge inset. Only bottom like 8. Const. ejemplo, the Navbar. I think there is a Navbar example, of course. So if we go to the Flutter GitHub repository, and even better, I think there is also the Flutter Gallery, which we can directly use. And how do they do it? So if we go to Shrine, for example, can I just go further? Yeah. So they have done the navigation on the left side, but it's more an e-commerce shop, right? And then Rally. Oh, it's also on the side, the navigation. Crane. Ah, Crane. So that is Crane now. Something like that could be a solution, right? So they created a card that is on top of it, right? This is this card here. And the card is on top of that purple one. At least it has the feeling because of that side part here. Okay. Wow, that's a color explosion. So if you don't know the Flutter Gallery, I can share the link. Flutter Gallery. Here we go. Not here, here. So usually the people are using the app bar for that stuff. Or at least for the material design, but we don't want really to use the material app bar. Yep, that's true. One Square, I think the biggest bank outside of China is also taking it. I don't know the name anymore, but it's also a big benefit for Flutter. So it's getting more and more popular, which I really like. So the margin didn't help. At least we have still the background, which is slightly gray, whysoever. So if we... So what happens if I set this background color to colors.white? So for example, like this. Did it solve the problem? Not really. This cutoff is the problem. That's cool. I like your enthusiasm. Okay. Maybe it's a bad idea to have that as a background image. Maybe we should create these three things as a widget later. Then we don't have the problem with that cutoff at the moment. But I will keep that for now and start with having this part here, where we give that like a third of the space, right? So we have that home content, and inside we have the hero image and the Jumbotron. And this one would get an expanded. And also expanded. So, fantastic. Now it's half-half, right? But it is actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6 maybe. So let's see. So we give that flex of 4 and this flex of 8. We created our theme ourselves. At the moment we use the light theme here. So the only thing is that we started to copy with everything. What about an empty widget on top of the background that you convert later to an animation? Yeah, would be also an option. That's true. The theme of Android Studio. That's my new favorite theme, which is called, let me check the plugins. I think one theme or one color or one dark or something like that. Yeah, one dark theme it is. I can share it with you. That would be this one. And for VS Code, one dark, it is this one. And you know what? There is a document called FAQ, I think FAQ, I think here. And I will add that there because I get this question now often. Was it FAQ? I thought so. Very good question. The problem is I will not answer that. There is no better in between these two. I get, in any case, I get angry people who are saying the opposite. So both of them are fantastic. So, have here heading 2. What IDE theme do we use? We currently use the One Dark theme. This is for JetBrains and VS Code. One Dark. That is true, but on the other hand, VS Code has, or IntelliJ has a lot of smarts. So what I would generally what I would generally say is, if you have a strong computer and you work for a real customer where you need a lot of smarts, then I would highly recommend you using Android Studio or IntelliJ. And if you have the possibility, or if you don't have a strong machine, or you just want a very light version, then you should use Visual Studio Code. Yeah, and not only for debugging, I think also the whole GitHub integration or Git integration in general is a little bit better, and you just feel that it is a paid version for something. Wow, really? That sounds somehow crazy for me. And I think I should stop the poll somewhere. I'm absolutely right. You know, that is so nice from you. You can't hear that more than enough. In the meantime, I could maybe, sorry Pierre, 1 second too late, but I take your yes. Maybe it's a good timing to announce Stefan once more. He is not there anymore, but he's donated once more the 10 euro for this month, which keeps us running again 1 month. So thank you for that. And he wanted to buy something in a merch shop and found out that there is only US dollar possibilities. Bit sad, and I also have to check that, and it was really true. Okay, so we have some space here left, so we can add that too. So going to our content, we can say this is 6 to 8. And now it should be pretty good, and we have a little bit space in between that we can add a spacer to one of the both. Or we also add a flex a little bit more and make a padding here that we have some space to breathe, right? And also what I would like to do is put it on the left side. On managing files while creating Flutter packages. Yes, absolutely. I found already packages that have one big line, one big file with everything inside. Don't do that. If someone wants to contribute to your packages, it is horrible to find everything in one single file, and that makes no fun. I would highly recommend you, if you search for packages where you can start off, first of all, the Flutter dev tool for packages have a very cool file structure prepared. And as an alternative, is it here, I think? So they create a file example somewhere. Implement package, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't know anymore, but if you go, for example, to the provider package, which is the most liked package in Flutter at the moment, then you can go into Remy's example. And what he did is exactly what you should do. You should create a main file like provider.dart where you export all the things that you want to provide for your customer. So everyone who uses your package is now your customer, right? So you provide all the exports for your customers here. And in the source code, you can do whatever you want actually, but you would create everything that you export an own file for it. So I would highly recommend you go with such a structure that is already like best practice somewhere, and that is good. Tester with a Z, is that on purpose? Tester, this one? A library for building decentralized application in Flutter, currently focusing on Tesla's platform. All right. So you're doing that already, or? No, it's all in one file. So good that I told you this. I will start your project. Let's see how you create or how you go further. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so let's have a look. We have that flex, we have Jumbotron, we have hero image. Fantastic. So now next steps. I want to align everything on the left side in the Jumbotron. So this column should have the column is this the main axis alignment and this the cross axis, right? So cross axis alignment start. I will. So as you can see, everything is now aligned to the left, which is good. Now we have to do that a little bit with padding. So if we check out how this looks, we can see it's 76, and I think that is already wrong, right? So divided by 8 is 9.5, which we can't do. So you're welcome. So that would be 80, that would be 20, so like this, way better. So if you don't know what I did right now, I always try to make my paddings always a multiply of 8. So that means 8, 16, 24, 30, no, that makes no sense. 32, 40, and so on and so forth. Wow, I'm that bad in mathematics. I really should do some more there. But this means this column here from the Jumbotron or that content here. I think the Jumbotron should have that. Can Spotlight do calculations also? Like this one? I don't know, never tried it. Yep, it can. It immediately calls the calculator and runs it. So yeah, thank you. Didn't know that. That makes it way easier, then I don't have to always open up the calculator. Okay, so I add here a padding, and we said that should be not all. I would like to have that symmetric. So horizontal, no, vertical, I think is the first one, should be 27, 72. All right, so how does it look? It was wrong, I knew it. Way better. Okay, so that works already. We have it on the left and on the right, which is wrong, I think. Yeah, I think there is also some alternative for the Spotlight windows, but I don't know if it was for free. I think they had some kind of that. But on the other hand, I think if you are working with Windows 10, the search bar on the bottom is pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's getting better. All right, so where have we been? Now we have that in horizontal, but we don't want to have that on the right side, or? What do you think, guys? Design guys. Do we want to have that a bit more pressed, like, not this? Like so? Depending on this. That's the whole container. I would like to know this, so... I think this can lie out a little bit, that's okay. But it should be a difference from here to that container inside. That is currently 102. Could be a bit less, let's see. But then we can just keep that, here we go. And we can just keep that distance. Okay, so now I would like to centralize that in this area. So We could push that with padding, but I don't like that. It's always a bad idea in that area. How could we do that? Currently our container that contains both of them is infinity, I think. Maybe we can do that differently. So we could make that a height of 730. We have that column. So where does the home content? Yeah, so the height is currently infinity. If I remove that, it will look very weird, I think. Or not. Oh, we broke the stuff. Debug during device update, okay. Sounds like I should hot restart. And it's gone. Oh. Really? Padding is a good thing? I'm always against padding, even in CSS. If I would do something in CSS, we use the good old flex. Not this one, this one. So if you are working with CSS, flex is the way to go. Padding is usually a bad idea. Padding is always like, meh. And this is exactly what I want to try to avoid. Like padding on the left, on the right, if you want to push stuff outside, that's good. But if you have like a layout, you don't want to really do that. So flex box, flex, grid, all that stuff. I can post that also as a text here. Hey Hamish, nice to see you. Very well. Nice to see you. So what can we do here? So we have this stuff now, and I would like to have that in the center of the whole part. The question is now, is that... can we make this as a cross-axis alignment centric? Don't know. Cross-axis... axis... whoops. Center. Remove argument, why? It is redundant, okay. We are currently with Flutter, of course, but this CSS trick is just because there was a question regarding to it. That is absolutely true, CodeBit. Actually, I'm with that on your side. Also, I don't know if... I love Flutter extremely, and I like that cross-platform, but the only thing is that I don't like is that they brought CSS again together with, I don't want to say the HTML, but the structure. This is the only downside that I currently see. So I try to get always some constants and everything to get out with the design informations. But yeah. So you see, I love Flutter also, but I don't hype it over the mountain without having an idea what happens inside. What have we done till today? So we have 2 live stream today. The first time we made a small design, which looks like this at the moment. And now I try to recreate the whole thing. So here we are. To make that small again. And now I try to find a way how I can push this row here or that part in the center. And for that, I want to activate the Flutter Inspector, I think. Can I not use the Dart tools for that? Sure, I know Supernova. Supernova is a tool that is close to the idea of Adobe XD to Flutter, right? And it is quite older than Adobe XD to Flutter. So it is like you design the stuff inside of a drag and drop wizard, and you receive at the end a finished app from it. Yep, I know it's way better, but it's more pricey, I think. You have to pay for it, right? Oh no, it's even free. Interesting. So if someone is interested, Supernova.io it is. Okay, back to my problem. Here we go, we have that. Bring that to the side. And what want I to do? Do say that is not promotion. Why should I say that? If I do promotion, then it looks differently. Then you get like everywhere cups of a company or tea and everything in every corner. Yeah, Bootstrap is a bit special, Morbleu, because I think Bootstrap is using their own grid system that they have. Like if you check for Bootstrap, you will find that they have this grid part everywhere. And this is actually the same thing like the grid, like Flex at the end. So you get these columns behavior here, like here. And so they use this columns, rows stuff, which is nearly the same as Flex. Okay, so what did I want to do? We brought to bring that together. It's interesting, Amish is there and the spam is starting. No, I don't think so either. It would be more if I'm saying this is the best product and you really should buy it, then it is differently. So, and I think they don't like diseases here on the stream, so I always be careful with that. And additionally, I'm not even monetized, so you don't see any advertisement, right? So there is no problem at all. I can say whatever I want. Okay, so we have a row. Can we activate this one? Yeah, here we go. So where are we? This is that expanded. It's so sad that this one is still a bit buggy here everywhere. Can I? Yeah, but subscribers are not the important part. It is the only challenge that you have actually is the watch time of 4,000. This is like incredible hard to reach. Yep. Well, what means incredible hard, but we are close to it. We can maybe make a check for our YouTube channel, maybe if you are interested. Can have a look, because I am curious. So that is the wrong one. Let me check if I find that. At the moment, the problem is most that we have like a very weird behavior of our Dart UI. What is going on? Restart. Could not prepare to run the isolate. Okay, so here is something very bad. So let's restart it completely. The problem at the moment, or what I want to do is... Yes, that is a good idea. So if you are on our stream and you want to watch something, do it twice a day. Or let it just run on the side or something like that. Would really support us. But I'm not sure if I can promote this, so I always be careful also with that announcement. I think Xcode can be gone. So what is happening? Mac OS. Here we go. Okay, what we try to do is we want to make that as the same size of this, and then we want to move that in the center. And my problem with that is at the moment that I can't activate the stuff with the inspector or the outline. So, but now I think I have it, hopefully. Yeah. So and now can I select a widget? Yep, here we go. And as you see at the moment, this whole thing is a row, which is, we have a column, and this is the part which is 100% height. So I would expect that this part is anyway here centered. So this column here is down here, and it has, okay, and the main axis alignment is not center, right? So that could be the problem. Main axis dot center. Axis alignment dot center. Oh, be nice to my older videos, because I think even I find them sometimes a bit meh. It was just when I made my 30 days challenge or something, when I had a really bad microphone. I can't hear them myself. I don't like these videos myself anymore. I would the best thing would be that I can just recreate all the different videos. But the time is also a problem, right? Keystroke MAA. Ah, oh, that is cool. So if I MAA, okay, and also here, no. So anyhow, but we made it to the center, right? That's something. Now we have just to check why the column has so much space. So that means this column lives in this padding, that's fine. And inside of the content, we have it in a row, which is then expanded. And there is a container, and this container currently takes full width, I expect, full height, I think. Everyone feels like that. That is true. That is true. And also YouTube is way more work than I expected in the first place. Because as every young YouTuber, I thought that would be easy to reach like 1,000 subscribers and everything. And then exactly, the expanded takes the whole width, which is perfectly fine at the moment. This container could have a height, I think, like media query off. Context, and then we could say something like size dot height and then divide it by or multiply it by 0.8, something like this. And that didn't work. Or 0.6. No, don't do anything. So if I do that with 600, no. Maybe if I add here a constraint with box constraints, height, media query off, context dot size dot height. Voila. No. Okay. Anyway, in the meantime, we can take a look into the YouTube Studio, how it looks at the moment. I think you are maybe interested. So we have an incredible amount of 3,000 subscribers. It's like mind-blowing. Nobody can think about that. And then we are currently pretty active. Also, this day was great. And for the monetization, I think it's not too much anymore, but 3,200. That's quite cool. If you are using a size, then you may create var for it. This would be more performance they are adding. Okay. Still, I thought this container would be the problem, but the row and then the expanded, so it needs to be inside here. So this part here seems to have infinity height, right? Or can we have here like main axis size and then say min? No, not the main axis. It would be cross axis for the row, right? But there's only the alignment. Let's make a bit of space and let's take a breath. So we have here the column and the expanded. So your idea is to wrap this column into a sized box and define a size. We can try that. Box and get then the size into it with the height, which could be 1000, or let's make it small with 500 first. Also, this doesn't work. Nah. maybe in the parent widget, like the home screen. We have this row, and here we could use the height here. But the flex is only saying that it has so and so much space in the row, right? That would say we have 6 on the first side and the other side here. I used a dark theme, so if you search for plugins and then you find the one dark theme, Hamish, and there you can find the download link. If you are entering !FHQ, then you can check out the document, and there the themes are linked, so you can use them there. So if we have here a height with, for example, 800, still no space. It's weird. If we use a box constraint here, no, constraint box. If you can reduce the flex of the text, maybe we could get the flex of the text. So you think down here, this flex, right? The problem is the flex here is more for the row width, like you can see here now. What I could do instead of this. Yeah, but expanded has the benefit that we can use it for responsive layout or not. So constraint box, and we use the constraints here, box constraints, and we can try to make that. Oh. So I think it should be like this: multiple widgets for a whole composition of a website. As in shop, choose the best widget of Navbar, one copy paste. True. Media query could also handle that. Yeah, but why should I write it myself if it's already wrapped inside of expanded? I think expanded does exactly this, right? So that we don't have to write media query of context size divided by 0.5 or something. So, and here we would have a max height of, let's say, 800 and make this one a const. Did it work this time? Like, make it smaller? No. Where's the problem? I don't see that. Do we have something above, like this column? We use a column widget on the large screen, which then takes the full size. Maybe this is the problem. Okay, so let's try that. Let's take this constraint box here away. I can turn on the blue one, yeah, we can do so. Here we go. And I think this column where we are right now, whoops, take that away, and I think, should be this one, right? And this has, yeah, it is this one, I think. So if we then check out this row, for example, it is just this part, and this has already the height of 100%. So I think it is not this row, it is more this column here. So if we try that again with that constraint box, where we give a constraint with the box constraints, and say the max height is 800. Come on, still not? The background music at the moment is, whoops, nearly misclicked me and left the channel. Without You from, or let's say, can I? No, I can't post that. can't be too hard, but somehow I struggle at the moment. So this home content has been expanded, and then these two widgets. And the constraint box with our constraints. Max height of 800. Const. Still not. So this is now a typical beginner's error, I assume. So most likely everyone else would have already found it. It's just a bit weird that I don't see it. Yeah, the worst thing is that it's not even Flutter Web, right? It's Flutter macOS. I think this is now more a problem that I am not experienced enough. I think a real Flutter developer would have already seen the problem here, or at least debugged it correctly. The problem is that I don't know where it comes from. Because the thing is already released, so you find that new blog post currently on Medium already. So if I can share that maybe with you, if I find the right Medium. So my stories. Here we go. Yeah, but Flutter Web would or Flutter Mobile would have exactly the same problem, right? Because this is now in landscape mode, and what we have is a row with two elements, and I can't specify the height of these two. And I not know why. That is true. I mean, someone of us has to sweat, right? So we have that height of infinity. What if we have here a height like 800 or less, maybe 500? We have here the home content, and inside of home content, whoops, we will go a level higher, which is our home screen. And this has currently that size, the responsive widget. If I close that off, so we have here a bit more space. With home content. Okay, so we have a column which is 100%. We have expanded 100%. This row. I will not use Supernova, sorry, but at the moment I try to learn how Flutter is working, so I need to understand why I'm making mistakes. And Supernova is set and it's really a cool tool, but I don't want to learn a UI tool that I can use. I want to learn how to code, and this is way more difficult, so it is more an understanding problem here. But thank you for the idea. It's a Jumbotron. Maybe because the container, the child, is too large. Maybe this is the thing. So what would be if I just wrap this one in a constraint? What is the name? Constraint box. And give that a constraint again. Box constraint. No. I have to make that smarter. Somehow I just try around and make trial and error. This is not a good solution. I don't like that. So let's see what we can. We have so many tools in Flutter, so we have to try them out. So let's see. If I'm going here to Chrome now, I think I have that here. Make that small for now. Go here. We'll put that on the side and this one on this side. And whoop. So and now let's have a look. This is the main column of the responsive widget. That it contains everything like that header and the bottom stuff. And the navigation bar is here and the container. So this is the navigation bar, which is fine. And this part is being expanded. So with inside of this column, it is expanded. That's fair enough. So that means it takes the 100% of space. Fantastic. And the home content also, the container also, the row. And this expanded is actually not that big. It is just centered inside of that row. So this is the row that we have to make smaller here. It is right below the home content container. So this row here. And this row has too much space, at least, or better said, everything below that has too much space. So inside of that column, maybe we don't want to have this expanded here inside of the column. So it seems that Ayush is right at the end. Look at that. But you see, sometimes it takes just some time, and if you think about it, it makes also a lot of sense. So now we push that stuff down, and now the size of the screen is not that big anymore. Fantastic. Okay, somehow the background image is now a bit weird or a bit off, but that's okay. I think that is somehow different related. And we will find out in a second why this is the case. So for that I will, careful, I have to make that small again. What was the shortcut here again? Command Option F or Command Option D? Like that? No? Shift D? Command Option Shift F? No? Too many keyboards. So to the left, this to the right. Fantastic. It is the redesign for Miracle Design DE at the moment, so I would like to improve that. So Miracle Design DE. And you can also find the link to doc stream. No, I think doc website is the one. But has published view of number widget for Flutter web. I will contact Alphabet to get the Flutter team. Yeah, I think you can also write Tim Sneef on Twitter. He is also very interested in that. If you have this feedback and you love that so much, just ask him. Okay, so the background image seems to be fair. But I think they have currently enough problems with the Congress and everything in America. So make that smaller. Okay, it's just that most likely the full width of that makes problems. So in the home content, we have this expanded, that row, that infinity, and we have that background exactly here. So this is currently covered. What do we have else? Fill, maybe? Okay, that looks pretty bad. And I think I have to organize that again. Is it fill? Not really. Cover, fill, contain, fit height, fit width. Let's try this one. Not really. Fit width. Okay. So I think that is because of the responsiveness. As you can see, it's getting better if we make it smaller. But I think we will anyway change that. 1 AM already. Alright, thank you that you managed to keep it so long with me, Morbleu. Was a great working today. For Flutter Web. Maybe we can also create an open source project together, AKS, if you have an idea. So if you say more widgets for Flutter Web, what would have you in mind? It would be great if we would have like a bootstrap for that we can just use some stuff there. Like for example, we recreate some of the layouts or something like that and publish that. I think that would be cool. I will have an idea, or I will check a bit if I find something cool that we can do there. Maybe we can have that navigation bar and that stuff as a default one. I should watch my Twitter message, alright? No, I don't change that. It is on purpose that everyone can change it. It is just a comment section that you have. So you are allowed to comment on the document, and I have the power to say yes or no to the changes. So try to enter something and you will see it. Sorry. But thank you for pointing it out. Okay, so the headline. Now let's go there. And we have the Adobe XD. We want to use Passion 1, right? And we would like to use that as an animated widget. So that, I don't know why it's so weird here, but all right. So it's Passion 1 at the moment, and I would like to use that pub.dev with that animated widget. So inside of the Jumbotron, we have our first text, this guy. And this has Google Fonts or a style with Google Fonts dot Passion 1 at the moment, and it gets the font size of 27. What is wrong with Passion 1? Invalid const value? Ah, okay, it's a way const. Okay, yep, can't be. That makes sense. Thank you, Amish. I think we can also provide our own, right? We are also part of the Flutter team if we want. So just go to the GitHub issue and work on them. I think they will be more than happy if we had them. So where is that? Fantastic. Okay, so it's maybe a bit too large. That's fair. I think 62 is also fine. Reduce it even further, something like that. And now what I want to see is using that animated text kit. I really want to. So animated text, this guy, and install it. Whoop. Let's go to the pub.dev. Whoop. Getting rid of that. Get the dependency. And rotate, fade, text fill. I would say we start with the rotate part. Navigation rail, I used it when I used the Flutter News from 1.17. I started the navigation rail usage. I used it and I used the default part there. I really like it. It's a great idea. Maybe I should also take that for our website. It's maybe a good point. Rail example. I think it's on the web part. So we would have that on the left side, right, as a navigation part. Can we see it somewhere? Yeah. So it would make that navigation stuff on the left part, right? Would be maybe a good option. Oh, we can even have it on the top? I really have to take a second look into that, I think. So Flutter Examples, and I think there are somewhere curated list of samples. Let's see, and we have the navigation rail. It's not part of that, unfortunate. Web demos? No. Yeah, I have to take a look into it. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, okay. It's pretty easy because both are objects and which have a reference, and you try to identify two references, or you want to compare two references, and you need to override the compare operator for that to make that possible to identify. So we have a row. Yeah, I like that rotate animation too. That fade is also a good idea. We have that typer where you can see every letter written. This is also cool with that typewriter, with that line underneath. That looks ugly. All right, so I will use that rotate, I think. And for you, image, I can share you the override equal or operator dart. You will want to have this, my friend. That animation on the left side of the logo and a few words below. Illustrate left side. On the left side of the logo, a few words below. So I thought this here could be animated like Flutter developer, so that we have Flutter developer, Flutter streamer, Flutter YouTuber, and so on and so forth. And the illustration would be on the right side, right? Or, yeah. Wait, you see it the same way as I do, so it's on the right side. And the illustration would also have that animation, I hope. So like a brief animation or something was your idea actually from the last stream, the stream before that on Wednesday. That's all right, fantastic. So back to that. So we have a text, we have a children row where the first letter is hard. So I would like to have that Flutter as hard. So for this, we jump into our Jumbotron here to that part. And we need a row for this, which makes sense. The first part stays strong, like Flutter. And the second part is then animated, which is that rotate animated text kit. Rotated animated text kit. With the text that we can pass, which is, for example, developer. Complaints. List string. Okay, this wants to have a list. So give it developer and, I don't know, YouTuber. I'm always bad in finding words for something like that. So developer, YouTuber, Flutter, evangelist. I'm not a marketing guy, I promise you. So I add a const here that it's happy. Coder. Coder and developer, is it not the same? Enthusiast would be maybe a good word. Enthusiast. Enthusiast. If you find some errors, please let me know. Cool. And what do we need? On tab, we don't need that, I think. Or? With on tab, we just pass it through. So the text style we can also pass. Text align is fine. And the text style, we just take the other one. If we add a navbar like the one I mentioned, you add the animation next to the illustration as you want it to be. The page will be very good and modern. Yeah, the navbar that you set is this one, right? So at the moment we want to have this text here navigated, and I think we don't have at the moment a chance to animate this here, like on that page, right? We have only these two things that are animated, and this we will do too, right? So we animate both of them. Or is it too much? I don't know. I just want to try that out with that rotated animated text widget right now. And then we can still see if it is too much later. And then we can remove it or keep it, or I don't know. That can't be a const. Yeah, that's true. So the text, and now it's gone. Where is it? Where's my stuff? Do I have to pass something else inside? Maybe the duration or something? Yeah, just gone. Or Lottie files? Yeah, we can maybe create some Lottie files for that. Yeah, that's true. At the moment I just thought that we have... Oh, look at that! It looks pretty cool. What do you think? Maybe make a space in between, so I think we need a size box for that. With a width of, for example, 20. Const, of course, fantastic. Not reload. It's maybe a bit too much, like 10 would be enough. And we don't make 10s, we have 8, like 16 or 8. Yep, that's good. So at least something moves on the page, and this is always something that I like, right? So we come to that closer. Now, why the hell we have so much space down here? That is new to me. Should we create a widget for that? Or is it enough that we know that this is the Jumbotron here? On the other hand, how much time are we have already on the stream? I'm pretty tired, to be honest. Oh, 2 hours already. Jeez. The time is running. It's crazy. Let's come. Just 15 minutes more. We can do that. Or let me just make a quick break. Then I can go to the bathroom and we see us like in 5 minutes. And then we can like do at least finish the Jumbotron, I hope. I don't think that we can start with animations today. But what we would like, or what I would like to do in the next couple of streams is anyway using Rive or or Lottie files, one of both. And I think I will keep the, or I will give you the idea which one we would use. Use the space next to Flutter text. So here? What is space? You mean spacer or? Use the space next to Flutter text. So you mean here? Just adding a space? So, also a good idea. Maybe even cleaner. Because the font size is the same and the space would be exactly the right choice. Okay, so just 5 minutes on the bathroom. I will be back in a second. So, and back here. Whew. Intermission completed, indeed. Was it intermission or be right back? I hope be right back. Okay, so we did that. I think Photoshop we don't need anymore. At least not yet. Fantastic. So. And it seems that this after a while is just stopping to work, which is a bit sad. All right, so back to here. You need a Lottie or animation on that blue background here. Okay, so I wanted to finish up this part here on the left side, but if you are insisting we want to use a Lottie animation as the last thing, I will give you a poll that you can decide, you guys. So what you want to do first. So what should we do next? That would be one Lottie file, Lottie, which will be the animation on the right, or the Jumbotron. Voila, done. This is a duplicate entry. Whoa, what? Aha, here. Okay, so Jumbo would be the Jumbotron. The Jumbotron would be everything on the left side here. So the text, make that in the right font, finish up the button and so on. And the other thing would be the Lottie file or Lottie. That would be the animation on the right side. Start. So that would be the big animation on this side. In our case, this part. I really hope we find something in Lottie that looks more or less familiar with that. So lottiefiles.com was the address, I think. Look at that. And it's on German. Why is it on German? Let's go to English. I think just Jumbo. AKS, I think it was not what you are doing, it was more what you are doing for work. I think Rakshit, if you want to vote, you have to make exclamation mark vote and then space and then your Lottie, for example. So like Hamish did it. And in the meantime, I can check if we find an animation that could be the right one for us. Do we find some free animations here? Is it here? And these are packages, they are pricey. Ah. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Okay, so I thought there are also some for free. Popular. Ah, yeah, yeah. This guy. No, I would just use today Lottie, that it works, and then the next time we can decide if we want to use Rive or Lottie. Currently it's an equal, so we have one vote for Jumbotron and then for Lottie. Please, everyone who has time, please vote, because else I can't make a decision. Yes. 2D, we have this part. Do you have a cool Lottie animation that would fit in the same thing? Or should we, I think to create our own, we have to get some tools, right? This dog, fantastic. Because that is the only problem that I see with Lottie, that to create these Lottie files, I think you need a tool already, like Adobe, no, I don't, not Adobe XD, I think for Figma, for Android, Adobe Express, no, what is it? AE? After Effects, yeah. Figma, iOS app or Android app. That's the only disadvantage. So we can only use the animations that are here from the community. So if you have a good one or you know a good animation, we would then use that. Yeah, it's hard to learn, but it's worth it. Especially as a YouTuber, I think it would be amazing to have Adobe After Effects. but not at the moment. Maybe if I have more time and money. Okay, anyhow, because it is a draw between the Jumbotron and Lottie, I will finish off the poll, and because this is a democracy, I will choose the Jumbotron, that we finish that off first, and the next time we will take care of the animation on the right side. This is okay for everyone. So then I think that should be also easier, and I think it makes sense because then we have at least one part ready. Sorry if someone is disappointed now. Okay. So we have that row, and unfortunately it takes a lot of space. And what I don't really get is Blender is cool. Yeah, I used Blender also for some stuff. So let's see. Okay, why do we have so much space here? That is really odd. Does that take so much space, that rotated animated text kit? Can we not use the, I think we had this DevTools. Let's open them up again, and then we can maybe debug that correctly. That, go here. Oh, that's a problem. Not responsive enough. I think we have to make an animated text widget here that is organized by the font size. It's good to see that there is an issue. And now we still have a lot of space here, so it seems to really comes from this font here. It has a lot of space. That is this row, right? So we have that row with the text and the anime. Ah, look at that. That rotated animated text needs a lot of space. With a height of 160 at the moment. Interesting. Which makes kind of sense, because if the text is coming inside, it needs the space to rotate correctly, I think. Sad. Okay, so maybe we just have to live with that space at the moment. Then what we could do is, instead of having an infinity font, we can use that animated text, default text style, I think. The duration, was it the right one? We have this, the child, the style, and so on. What could we do custom with a custom painter? The animation? Yes, but it would be a lot of work, right? So what is happening right now? Did I miss something? Enlarge the font size may help a little bit. Okay, since the text on the left side contains animation, the lottie next to it has to have a reserved animation so that it does not contain too much. Yeah, that is good. Okay, but for now I want to fix first this this font size. Or what we also could do is making a wrapped part here. Can we not widget this text in a wrap? Now, how was it with the wrap? Was it the row that we can have in a wrap? An alternative? Yeah, something like that. It looks not that beautiful, but it would work for now. Okay, so you only want to have one animation on the page. This is what you don't like. Yep, I see it. I think that is a good point. Can think about that. And what I would like is that animated default text style still, because I think that was pretty cool. With that styling, that would be this one. And what's the duration? I don't know if this is correct what I'm doing here. Animated default text style. I thought this was the one if we want to like having a new font size because of animated version of default text, which automatically transitions the default text size over given duration whenever the given style changes. Soft wrap, text overflow. Okay, this is just changing the colors, okay. I thought this works. I don't know why, but duration, milliseconds, like 300. And I think we can remove that. Wow, with Substance Painter you can create video game clothes, skin textures, okay. Substance Painter. It's a tool. It's more like Blender then, or something like that, huh? Wow, it's pretty cool. So you can then, cool. And you do something like that? That's fantastic, phenomenal. Me neither, never seen. It's pretty cool. So, but back to my problem. I want to have that rotate animated, that animated default text style. Can I not Flutter responsive text size? Fitted box to based on height and width, for example. Title fitted box, okay. That could work instead of doing all that stuff. Just doing this as style. Removing the const keyword, removing this. And then just fitted box. But with the wrap it could be weird. Let's see. Fitted box, is that working? No, not really. I need to change the layout in the root. Now it's working. So fitted is pretty good. The only thing is currently I'm using that wrapped, so it seems that it's going underneath. So if I'm changing that back to a row, it would look like this. And if we now make it smaller, yes, in the future it will be. At the moment we are using only the... You're right, I anyway use that large screen only at the moment, so this will be changing in the future. You're right. So this would be maybe not anymore the full size, right? You're right. Good point. Good point. So we can then take care of it when it's the time. In the meantime, I just make that a wrapped widget because I think it makes sense. At least in the worst case, it's underneath of each other. Or what we can do is, instead of making the fitted box for both of them, can we maybe make it surrounding the row? So if this is a row, can we surround that with a fitted box? Like that. What happens now? Ah, look at that. Woo. Hey Susan, nice to see you. Welcome to the Flutter Explained family. Okay, so now back to our text. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Cool. So this is our fitted box for the role, and now we can help you, blah, 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 blah. This would be, here I will use the first time the style theme dot of context dot text theme dot body text 1. And it collapsed. Style? On style? I actually thought that would return that. What is text theme dot text style? Indeed it is. Ah, this is here not a constant. Yep. Okay, so body text 1 it is. And to make body text correct, we go to our theme. Oh, is that deprecated? No. Display 4 is deprecated. Okay, fantastic. So this is now body text 1, which is a text style. And here we have our text style with the font size of whatever we have in our Adobe XD. They have headline 1, 2, 3 till 6 and body text 1, 2 for now. Yep. And I think they changed that in the last update, because before they had like display 1, 2, 3, 4 or something, and this is deprecated now. So this is Montserrat 32. Okay, so we have here, instead of just text style, we can use the Google fonts.montserrat, right? Does that has to be constant, or why is it complaining? We have to import it, of course. So Montes. Is it not a Google font? Montserrat. Here we go. Fantastic. Does it has a size? I think 32 was the point. Okay. And with that, our part should look correct. Okay, it's a bit stuck at the moment, but that's okay. And restart. Bottom overflowed. Okay, what is the problem? So we have a render box that is overflowed of the expanded. Okay. To force the children in the render box. Okay. It has a fitted and this text, and now it complains since newest features. Why? So if we don't put anything inside, it works, but if we add the style, then it's broken. Any good ideas? Why is this the case now? Render, flex. Maybe we have to add the text alignment or something into the body text one. Here, like text baseline is top. Text base. Alphabetic, right? No. Decoration, font feature, font weight, foreground, letter spacing, text style, word spacing. Does it really use the correct one? So if I'm taking a look and replace that here with that, then it works. Huh, okay, so it seems that my theme is not correctly working. Unfortunate. Okay. That's something I can work with. And as always, the fonts are a bit too big, like 32, that would be 24. Something like that. And it's still a bit too big, I think. We'll do that in a second. So. Yeah, but I think it's still a bit too big, right? So. Or do you think if I'm using that theme that it does... yeah, that could be. So if we then use theme dot of context dot text theme dot body text 1, and now I'm using that, that could be that I have to make a hot complete restart of the application. Let's see. And what did you learn this day, today? Do you have some special thing that you learned today in general? Not only at my stream, of course, in general. No, it's still broken. That's very odd. Okay, it seems that this text theme down here does not work like I expected, I think. If I could remove that and replace it with my own text theme, and then create it myself, like body text, and give that inside. Oops. Whoop. How equality, yep, that is between objects very important. Brr. Okay, I think I have to read about that text theme. Somehow it doesn't work like I expected. So back to our here, and let's add that immediately inside of here. Command Shift F, so like that. And this we said 24 or 60. And now the Contact Us button has that blue shape, so we give it a blue color. I think it may be the illustration that somehow... What do you mean with illustration all the time? We don't have that illustration at the moment. This is just a background image, right? So it's just an image that is at the background of everything. The illustration will come in the future. There is none yet there, luckily. So we have that child, we have a color here, and that color will be this blue, right? Our main blue. And if I select that, we have that primary color here. My voice is going. So this is color 0xFF. A blue square. Let me take a look quickly. So, this child. Sort child properties last widget instance creator. Alright, so go here. So the only illustration that we have is this one. All the others are just on it's just a background image. So if you mean these parts here, they are all background image. And another blue square I don't really see, right? Or do you mean this? Contact us, color, no, style. The color is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Background could be, but at the moment these are really completely two separated elements here, so I can't imagine that this is a big issue. A more problem. Why is that now not working? I thought that would be very easy to finish off, but somehow it fights against me. Ah, because of that const down here. So fantastic. So style, now we have the Google fonts, Montserrat or Montserrat, and we have the color here, which is colors, color, XFF, 2, 3, 4. And this part can be const here. Way better. Okay. So now we hot reload or hot restart, and we have our animation back. So maybe we have a sized box between these two things. That would be good, I think. We don't have 20, we have 16, right? And this should not be somewhere in between. Up. Here we go. All right. So we managed at least something. You will have to loop the animated text. I don't know why the animated text sometimes is getting buggy. I think it's more if we resize or some stuff, and then it has some issues with repeating that stuff. It's more a macOS problem, I think, at the moment. That the package get a hiccup or something. You would remove the background. Okay. So you would remove completely the background here and create a lottie for all of this stuff, right? So I can imagine that. That sounds like a good idea. We can do that. I think that's a cool idea. Yep. But for now, we just keep it like that because it was just to give us a hint how it could look like. And I think it's still on a good place at the moment. And now we just have to improve it for the next time. So this is our final cut for today, I think. That's it. I hope you liked it, this session today. And we also have to make this one black, or I think that gray doesn't look good, or should we do that gray? So that font color up here and down here. But this is for the next stream, I think. My voice is gone. It's pretty tough, like more than 2 hours. Okay, so thank you very much for joining again today. It was fantastic. I think we managed a lot, actually. I really like that we used also this flex to make that a little bit smaller. I think I will do the same for here. So fantastic. I maybe can do that also in a fitted box. Whoa, that's quite small. Don't do it in a fitted box. Okay, but that's good for now. Thank you so much for joining today. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas for the other things. Really? Okay, so this one has a repeat forever. Let's say true to that. Got a hiccup. So now you think it will run forever. Thank you, Rakshit. Yeah, it looks pretty good, I think. Fantastic. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Maybe the next time we can think about, what is it called? CI/CD, that we can publish everything on github.io. Then we can have on our, I think I have a GitHub pages somewhere, so mdweber and github.io. So instead of having this website here, we could have the new one. So that we say, okay, we use this part here. Can make it as a published way. So that could be a next step. I think it's good that we have so much discussion, right? That everyone can tell his ideas, so we can improve that website part by part and getting better and better together. Love that. All right. So, but now let's wrap it up. What did we do today? We improved our website with an animation. We improved the idea of having this part, so the Jumbotron is ready to use. We get some issues with the shadow up here. And I think it was a pretty good step. The only thing is, what I don't like at the moment is that this logo is off. So that is on the left side completely. It could be in the middle. Good job, all of us, I would say, not only me. So thank you for your help and your support. It's always very appreciated. Okay, so I close now everything off and I will commit that here. So finished the Jumbotron. Up. Thank you, Mitsuke. It was fantastic to have you here. Up and kick that up. We have 2 to-dos. That's fine, I think. Commit. And add Lottie. Yep, so let's do that. The next live would be on Wednesday, I think, on the morning. So if we check out the doc website again. The next live, yep, I told you, on Wednesday, I think, in the morning. And I will add on the document that we have here, I think. Yep, the next steps. Steps for the next live stream. Wednesday. That would be adding a Lottie file, fixing the logo. What was the other thing? Material for the fix the navbar. Yep, fix the navbar. Maybe. And yeah, if you have more ideas, please let me know. Just add that here in the document. As you know, you have all writing access. And so I will check that and then I will add the comments there. All right, that was quite a challenge today. Thank you so much for joining and we see us the next time. Layout changes. All right, let's add the layout changes. Cool. So we have quite something to do, right? Fantastic. And I will make that an own headline. All right. Anything else before I leave? Yeah, I think bug fixes is not part of that. Bug fixes is like testing. I think that would be a better option, right? Bug fixes. Cool. I think at the moment we anyway do more layout and graphical stuff, so we don't really test at the moment, which is probably not good, but let's see. Yeah. Cool. All right. So enjoy the rest of your week or your weekend, and we see us the next time. See ya.